Nigga here and he about to get some
pearls.
Pearls?
You about to pearl? I don't know.
And we about to put on our airs and act real cool. Smoke a couple of blunts and talk about who acting fool. If this music we can do it, don't need to dance. We don't have no time for psychological romance. No romance, no romance, no romance for me. Mama, come on, baby, tell me what's the word of smoke up. Everybody say, roll your bamboo backwards, even try to hit your vape or smoke up. It's a cold smoke. Remember we used to put the bong in the freezer?
What?
You remember that?
No.
Now all you sucker DJs who think you fly, and you know the reason why. You try to put on your airs and act real cool. You know, for a long time I thought my uncle was that nigga in Cameo.
What?
Sweetheart. They said America acted out last week,
Yeah.
and now want us to come to the birthday party. We're not going to the birthday party, sweetheart. Let's start the show. Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Wake and Bake with Tuesday and Thursday, 8 a.m.-ish. Spark you a bowl, let's get high in this bitch. You know my drum roll's always been terrible. I don't know why that is. Wake and Bake with BeMo. Shabba. Good morning. It's your boy. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, BeMo, your culture analyst, your creative shit talker. Today, you know what I'm saying, I might be the spook that sat by the door. This might be the last show. They might come knock on the door, sweetheart, because we got some dangerous things to talk about this morning. But before we get there, make sure we're saying good morning to the lady of the house. I see some people on the YouTube are following instructions, and I appreciate you, Drew and Jordan. Thank you. Make sure we're saying good morning to the lady of the house. Now, who we got in the house this morning so far, sweetheart? Who done woke up?
Re-up Alex.
What up? That is Alex.
Yeah.
I had to check. That is Alex.
Yeah.
He does exist.
I am Mom.
Oh, hey, girl. What's up?
The World of Za 420.
The world of...
Hey. Good morning.
You have found your people. Good morning.
And then Good Vibe Tribe on YouTube.
Good vibe.
Hey. Let's see if I can get this.
That's all? That's all the people in the house this morning?
Yeah.
I make sure they say good morning to the lady of the house. Now, I don't know how you going to do that, but I'm going to do my part and make sure to say good morning to the lady of the house. As always, we want to thank the folks over at the Washington Informer Bridge, WIBridge.DC.com or at WIBridge, all social media platforms, so that you can stay in touch with all the things that is happening in black culture within the DMV and beyond. We appreciate you over there at the Washington Informer Bridge for supporting the show for 4 years now. Well, 2.5 years now. We appreciate you, Washington Informer Bridge. Thank you for that. As always, you can always check out the new Blueprint newsletter, New Blueprints, as the written machinations of this exiled revolutionary here. If you're ever interested in some of the formal ways with some sources and some better writings that we can actually talk about some of these things, then head over to bmobrown.substack.com to join on to the new Blueprint newsletter. It is $5 a month if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, just let a nigga know, okay? It's not that deep. We could put you on the scholarship. The lady of the house said I could put you on scholarship. I can put on scholarship, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the lady of the house approves, therefore it is the word. All right. We have some interesting, great things we want to talk about. This morning, it has been a very interesting week in America some of these things I can't talk about. Like some of these things just cause so much blood pressure in my chest. I feel like I need to be around for a couple more years. So I'm going to parse those things out. But we're going to talk about affirmative action today. I think that's what we'll talk about to begin with, affirmative action. We want to talk about something that happened to me over the weekend that illuminates some of the fears of FedNow. But actually, I think a good way to start this show this morning, sweetheart, because it is the 4th day in July, I'd like to hear from Frederick Douglass.
Okay.
Okay, we want to play this video that was put out by PBS. Frederick Douglass, Frederick Douglass, his descendants read his speech from 4th of July. If you didn't know, if you haven't heard it before, I definitely encourage you every 4th of July, if you're just feeling a little frustrated, go back to 72 years after 1976 to read the words of Frederick Douglass when these white men invited Frederick Douglass to speak about liberation in front of a white audience. He didn't kowtow. He didn't bend the knee to the power. He actually spoke truth to power and said some very dangerous things on the stage, having escaped slavery while still trying to be paid to celebrate liberation. So let's watch his descendants about 90 seconds, and we'll come back and we'll get the show officially started. Freddie Doug, or Lil Freddie Doug, take it away.
Do I look there or look there? Okay. Okay. My name is Alexa Ann Watson, and I am the great-great-great-granddaughter of Frederick
Douglass is my great-great-great-great.
I am the great-great-great-granddaughter of Frederick Douglass.
I am the great-great-great-great-grandchild.
I've been counting on my fingers since I was like 5.
Whenever you're ready, here we go.
This is the 4th of July. It is the birthday of your national independence and of your political freedom.
Fellow citizens, I shall not presume to dwell at length on the associations that cluster about this day. The simple story of it is that 76 years ago, the people of this country were British subjects.
Oppression makes a wise man mad. Your fathers were wise men, and if they did not go mad, they became restive under this treatment.
With brave men, there's always a remedy for oppression.
They succeeded, and today you reap the fruits of their success. The freedom gained is yours, and you, therefore, may properly celebrate this anniversary.
Fellow citizens, pardon me. Allow me to ask, why am I called upon to speak here today? What have I, or those I represent, to do with your national independence?
Are the great principles of political freedom and of natural justice embodied in that Declaration of Independence extended to us?
I am not included within the pale of this glorious anniversary.
Your high independence only reveals the immeasurable distance between us. The blessing.
Definitely go check out that full video. It is on YouTube right now, the PBS version of 4th of July to the former slave. What does it mean to us? There's a speech by Frederick Douglass. Definitely go check that out when you get a chance. It is an important dialogue, an important piece of our conversation, an important piece of our history here in America. Although the nation is celebrating its independence, you know, I still think the invoice is unpaid. So, you know, that's what that means for now. So we appreciate the descendants of Frederick Douglass. Thank y'all for that. Sweetheart, let's get into some of these topics, though. Where do I want to start? Where do you think I should start?
Oh, well, we got Malik in the house. He said, "You're."
What up, Malik? Good morning, man.
And Mo Knows Detox.
Mo
The
knows.
OGs.
Where do you think I should start? You think I should start with the FedNow or the affirmative action joint?
I feel like they're both kind of spicy in their own ways, right? Maybe affirmative action.
Start with affirmative action?
Yeah.
Okay, sweetheart. So, Supreme Court struck down portions of affirmative action.
Yeah.
Just for those who are keeping up, who aren't been keeping up, or people aren't as aware of what affirmative action is. It is a principle that was started, I think, in the 70s to help started in University of Texas. Asian person sued the state because the race was a black person. Don't get me quoting the law out here. But somebody of color sued the state because they didn't want their race to be a factor in, or they felt like their race was a factor in the admission to the University of Texas. That goes up to the Supreme Court, and they declare affirmative action, which is essentially a principle that takes race into consideration as it pertains to the historic marginalization and disenfranchisement of certain minority groups, putting them onto a level playing field. The opposition to affirmative action has often been merit. Like, if you're good enough, then you should be able to get the job. But those of us who are good enough and who have looked merit directly in the face know that merit is not the reason why you get opportunities in this land of snakes. The reason why you get opportunities in this land of snakes is because of people you know. And the reason why I can prove that is also within the affirmative action decision. Notice a second ago I said parts of affirmative action were deleted from the law. But the other parts of affirmative action, probably the most effective parts of affirmative action, which is that you can still judge somebody's character based on their legacy, is still intact. And that legacy is another code word for systemic, and that systemic is another code word for the advantageous system of white people, or an advantageous system for white people. So therefore, affirmative action may have made it more easy for legacy white people to continue their legacy of being legacy, but it's made it more difficult for black folks who aren't perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be perfect to be respected under non-affirmative action laws. It gives people who are not perfect an opportunity to be seen, opportunity for their accomplishments to be put into the proper context, given the fact that, you know, maybe some of our people were enslaved until 1997. Maybe some people was enslaved until Tupac had his last record. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's
06.
Huh?
06.
Yeah. 06? You telling me there were slaves and we was yepping in our white tees? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. But again, you know, some people think that, you know what I'm saying, if you were freed in 2006, then you should have the social wherewithal and the social capital and freedom to move in a liberated body, when we just know that is not the case. They won't even give dark-skinned niggas jobs at the front of McDonald's, let alone are we giving black people an equal shot. But that's not, surprisingly, that's not the tactic I want to take at addressing affirmative action. Because what also affirmative action does, it is an attempt, and maybe I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt to white folks, but it is an attempt. I forgot what I was going to say.
Affirmative action is an attempt.
The way I want to go is not necessarily attacking the merit-based concept of affirmative action. I feel like black folks have been having that conversation about, should we be merit-based or should we be based on our race, judged on our race? We've been having that conversation internally since the affirmative action case happened. If you want to see so, you can check out just different debates that happen on all types of sitcoms. There was one on 8 Men. There was one on Different World. There was one on, I think, Martin. There was conversations about what does affirmative action mean to black folks within the common understanding of blackness. But that's not the way I want to take it, because I feel like we've been having that conversation. What I feel like white people were trying to do was come up with a race-neutral approach to the law. And on this show, especially in season 4, we have been trying to prove that race doesn't exist. Now, BeMo, what is the difference between racelessness and race neutral? I don't want to give you the answer yet. I actually want to send you to this white man. This is the white man. I think his law firm and his lawyer group has actually been at the center, at the core of these Supreme Court fights against affirmative action and the Voting Rights Act. This white man starts off this conversation saying something very interesting. Play the video, sweetheart. I think it's the first one.
The NAACP provided the model for all of us. And it was a model that was successful and a model that we all strive to emulate. I think there's an interesting arc that we can discuss. The NAACP provided the model for all of us, and it was a model that was successful and a model that we all strive to emulate. I think there's an interesting arc that we can discuss with the Fisher case. As some may remember, Heman Sweat applied to the University of Texas School of Law in the 50s and was denied admission. Heman Sweat was a Houston area mail carrier who met all of the qualifications to attend the University of Texas School of Law. He was denied because of his race. He wanted to attend the University of Texas as just an applicant who met the qualifications. He didn't want his race to be used as a factor to harm him, obviously, but he didn't want his race to be used as a factor to help him either. He didn't want the bar raised, and he didn't want the bar lowered. Abigail Fisher basically made the same argument. She did not want the bar raised for her because she was white, but she didn't want it lowered for her either. I think that arc that connects Heman Sweat to Abigail Fisher is the founding principle of the civil rights movement.
So, you know what? To better exemplify that point, I feel like this clip from this television show could help us illuminate what the difference is between race neutral and racelessness. And I'd like to say before we get onto this, that this is an old blueprint. It might be funny, but it's still an old blueprint. Go ahead and play the video, Scott.
Morning, Dwight. Who are you?
Who am I? I'm Jim. We've been working together for 12 years. Weird joke, Dwight.
You're not Jim. Jim's not Asian.
You seriously never noticed? Hey, hats off to you for not seeing race.
All right then, Jim. Why don't you tell me about that sale that you made yesterday?
Wellington Systems sold them 10 cases of 24-pound letter stock. Or were you talking about Krieger Murphy? Because I didn't close that one yet. But I'm hoping I've got a voicemail from Paul Krieger waiting for me.
Please enter your password. You have one new message.
How did you? No. That is sensitive information only for employees, not outsiders.
Dwight, cut it out. I'm trying to work.
You don't work here. You're not Jim.
Jim, I got us that dinner reservation. Greek 7:30.
Oh, great. Can't wait.
Jim's at the dentist this morning, and Steve is an actor friend of ours.
I don't know who you are, but you are not Jim. This is Jim. Oh, dude. How did...
Shout out to you for not seeing race.
Right.
Sweetheart, if I came on here and a white man had replaced me and just acted like everything was normal, I need y'all to freak the fuck out. I need you to freak the fuck out because I am obviously not a white man. Now here's why I bring this up though. There's a difference between race neutral and racelessness or Afro-pessimism, which includes racelessness. We've been talking about on the show that we need to get rid of this racial caste system, heavy emphasis on the caste system, the system that takes from the lower class so that the upper class can succeed or be profitable or be whatever the fuck they want to be, right? But in that, and I remember Kendall asked this question a couple of weeks ago, in that does not mean that I cease to be a black person. It does not mean that I cease to be an African on this side of the planet. That is not what that means. It means that the qualifications, the pejorative, the adjectives that you use to describe my race should not be in the negative, nor should they be destined to any type of stereotype or bigotry or whatever. I should be a black man. You should recognize that I love hip hop, and you should put me on the same level as any other person on this planet. I too am human. There are no brutes here. We are all human. That's what it means to be raceless. Race neutral means I see you as a black person. I know you've had black problems, but fuck that. Let's create one blanket solution to make sure that everybody can succeed. And when they say everybody, they don't mean everybody meaning the diverse individuals. They mean the individuals who want to be, who choose to be, who would like to be in this upper racial casted system. Those who want to be considered human. Those who want and feel like they deserve opportunity. That's what that means.
Right.
Let's create a system so we can give opportunity to more people who need opportunities, who look like us, who participate like us, who have a culture like ours. That's what that means. And affirmative action was a law to help mitigate that. Now, we can go blue in the face to figure out if niggas wanted to be merit-based or if they want to be race-based, but what I feel like is stupid is to say I have been disadvantaged by the culture of this country. Don't worry about it.
Right. What?
My opportunities have been shortchanged. I have been marginalized. My people have been not even my people. My family has been disenfranchised. I don't get the same opportunity as other people. But when it comes to applying to college, don't worry about it.
Right.
That's stupid. But you know what? You know what we say on this show, sweetheart. What if niggas are stupid? What if niggas are stupid? And so I wanted to bring this up today just to show that there is what the Supreme Court has decided on is to go with some race neutral tactics. And to me, that is scary because that is a form of erasure. And I played this Asian clip. I was going to play another Asian man, the Asian man who was the face of the case per se, basically saying how this is a big win for Asian Americans. And I remember writing when I was sleeping with Superman, I remember writing an appeal on behalf of AAPI month, and there was something that I bumped in upon, which is the term AAPI, Asian American Pacific Islander, was a movement in the 60s and 70s as a formal way to get Asian people closer to America.
Right.
The Asians, and I know I sound real racist right now, but according to this movement, the AAPI movement, these individuals wanted to be Americans. They didn't want to be considered othered. They didn't want to be considered minorities. They want to be Americans.
Right.
And in my black ass view, although we still haven't got repaid for the invoice for the work that we did, wanting to be American sounds like you want to be white. I said it. I said it. I had to get it out. I had to get it out the way. So this young man who doesn't want his race, which means his social caste, to play a part in his ability to create better opportunities for himself, might actually just be carrying the water for white supremacy.
Right.
And niggas not fucking with that. It's funny how affirmative action happened, let's say like in, I don't know, I'll say 72. Affirmative action in we'll say 73. Affirmative action happened in 1973, hypothetically. It's been 50 years and there's been hella debate. You can see the debate In Living Color. You can see the debate in barbershops. But you know what niggas didn't do? They didn't go to the Supreme Court.
No.
They did not go to the Supreme Court because we can have a conversation till we blue in our face about the legality or the appropriateness or whether it is frowned upon to be a proud affirmative action recipient. And we could have talked about that until the revelation came and went. But man, another group decided, you know what? There is an opportunity for us to expand admission into college, and instead of attacking these legacy students who are still mediocre, let's get the niggas out the way. We got any comments, sweetheart? That's all I got to say.
Drew says American means white. Everyone else has to hyphenate.
It does.
Right.
It does. Because you're not a white American.
Right. Okay.
I guess so. Drew was saying the AAPI movement they should have just been calling to be American instead of Asian American Pacific Island. They should have just been American like everybody else. Black Americans got to be Black Americans. Hindu Americans got to be Hindu Americans. Indian Americans got to be Indian Americans. Indigenous Americans got to be Indigenous Americans. You know what I'm saying? But if you're white,
yeah, because why are you not a European American?
I don't know. I don't know why you're not a European American. You ain't from here.
Right. He also said, as far as I'm concerned, the only reason to celebrate today is Malia Obama's birthday, and this is the day Will Smith saved the world from an alien invasion.
That's right. We appreciate you, Will Smith.
Right.
That's right. That same hand that gave Chris Rock the blues, the same hand that saved the world. Chris Rock should be appreciative.
Well, and then on Instagram, we got Yonda Project.
Oh, what's up, man? Good morning. Kane! What'd he say?
Just nothing. He just here.
He's here. What up, Kane? Good morning.
Truck said, "What up, big dog?"
What up, big dog?
Hey.
Huh?
And then we got Short Man Tay and Erica Americas.
You know who Short Man Tay is?
Who?
Erica! America! Short Man Tay is Dante.
Oh.
Yeah, made the song. He in the house and drew the picture.
Oh, wow.
This man is all up in Wake and Bake with BeMo. We appreciate you, brother.
Oh, and then Good Vibe Tribe says, I don't feel like white bro is not wrong. Not sure if it's still the case, but affirmative action helps white women the most. Exactly. We just need reparations, to be honest. Let's deal with the invoice of slavery. Facts. That's what I was thinking.
That's brilliant, though. It's like, should we be arguing over affirmative action, or should we focus on the source?
Right.
I don't know if we need to restart affirmative action. Let's just get to the reparations, okay? Let's just get to the reparations. You got any comments? That's all.
No, that's pretty much what I was thinking. This white man over here, not white man, the Asian or whoever it was, trying to dismantle affirmative action. We haven't even got reparations for it.
Yeah, we still got the invoice is still unpaid. You know what I mean?
Weren't there never mind, I don't want to give wrong facts, but I was thinking about the things that Asian Americans went through, like in the, what was it, 40s, 50s?
Yeah, they had the internment camps, and they had reparations for those internment camps. And also, there's no original sin for the Asians.
What you mean?
Like, if I'm putting myself in the shoes of an Asian American, I'm from Laos, or I'm from, you know what I'm saying,
Cambodia.
Well, not Vietnam. Vietnam's a bad example. But Laos, if I'm from Laos, right? Or China, or even Japan's a bad example too. The Philippines, yeah. Okay. America hasn't really, hasn't done anything to me directly.
True.
They might have fucked up the global economy. They might have dropped some bombs on my Asian brothers and sisters. There might have been a war in Vietnam that they lost. But like, there is no sin long and wide enough to put a bad taste into the Asian's mouth. I'm just guessing. I'm not an Asian man.
Yeah.
But like, you could be a witness of slavery. You could be a witness of Jim Crow. You could be a witness of the Niagara movement. You could be a witness of George Floyd. You could be a witness of Black Lives Matter. But that doesn't necessarily make you, was it sympathetic or empathetic? One of the things that you feel like you're actually a part of it because you've witnessed it, because you've experienced it. What's it called?
Empathetic.
You're not an empathetic partner. So it makes sense then that this same group would be like, yeah, we don't want to be minorities. We just want to be Americans. It's like,
right.
Do you?
And they already have the convenience of like their proximity to whiteness. So
very close.
Yeah.
Very close.
Right.
If it wasn't for that face. Man, if it wasn't for your facial features, boy, man.
Drew said America been using Asian sweatshops for their economy for decades. Facts.
You don't got no attitude,
right? We've been exploiting y'all.
That's all right. Toni Morrison said we have the moral superiority, and I believe her.
Yeah.
It must extend far, but I'm not gonna jump on the Asians no more. I fuck with y'all. Fuck with y'all. This was a bad decision, though. This was a bad move. This is why, you know what? This is why Asian folk need more TV shows. You know what I'm saying? This is why we need to empower more Asian creators. Because you're supposed to talk about this in the movies. You're supposed to talk about this in the shows. You're supposed to write about this on the blogs. You went to this white man
Right.
Oh no, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. I saw a clip from was it Fresh Off the Boat? This little Chinese Asian boy was trying to make good with the white kids at lunch, and the white kids at lunch was talking shit about him, and so he tried to go sit back at the black table, and the black boy was like, "Oh, the white boys didn't accept you.
Right.
Can't sit here no more though. Get out of here."
Drew said most Asian media that makes it to the West where they speak of their issues is in anime. Interesting.
Yeah, what's that boy name? Who was on the Daily Show for a week? Hassan Minaj. Yeah, we need more. We need more of those. Okay. So you can talk shit on the TV show, not to the Supreme Court. Oh
no.
You took this to Clarence Thomas.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh my God.
You know this nigga was gonna sign off on it.
Oh my God. Niggas know we don't go see Clarence.
No.
We don't go see him. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We got my man Michael Robinson featuring Tashiro with the Tone Che music video. Make sure y'all check that out on all social media platforms, all streaming platforms to get that popping. Illustrated by my girl Lydia Corbett. Oh, hey, Lil, I did a little creative production. Make sure y'all go check that out and watch that video. I think right now we got 40 views on YouTube. It should be 80 by the end of the day. Go Liberation. Get your, there's a... Never mind. Watch the music video. We'll be right back with more. Wake and Bake. I was about to go into the history of how animation, if you track black folks in animation, you can track the story of blackness in America the same way you can track, if you track the story of black people in American horror films, you can track the story of black Americans in America. Make sure y'all see the blackening. It's okay. It's okay. I have grown appreciative of it since I haven't watched it. But anyway, make sure you watch this music video. It is animated because we're making our own animated videos because we believe in independence. All right? We'll be right back with more. Wake and Bake with BeMo. Shabba.
Baby, can we, oh baby, please, down on my knees, but I ain't begging, baby, I'm just trying to change you. Mind over matter, I'll be the better. Home run the sad, nothing but dimples and laughter after I change you. Change, I wanna take my time. I can hear it in your voice. Oh, you might as well just change. Wasting your time. I'm not gonna change. Maybe for a little while.
Wake me up! Good morning. Welcome back to Wake and Bake with BeMo. Yeah, I love that music video.
Yeah.
It's such a great activity to be a part of such creative exercises to be in the middle of two creative geniuses that they try to work out how they're going to express themselves through these mediums. I always love being a little creative liaison between two parties, so make sure y'all go check it out. Before we get started, make sure you also go check out the new Blueprints newsletter. We got newsletters coming out. Looks like it's like once or twice a month now, since I'm getting my doses correctly. We could use the $5 a month.
Dosage.
But, yeah, my dosage correctly. If we could use the $5 a month, but if you need the but if the balloon wouldn't go higher, if you need the scholarship, just let me know. We can make sure we put you on.
We got. I thought this was interesting in reference to the affirmative action conversation.
Yeah.
Drew said Godzilla is a metaphor for the atomic bombs America dropped on Japan.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
And then Erica America said Ali Wong was a writer Fresh Off the Boat. Wasn't she in what was that show?
She was in that show where they hated each other.
Yeah.
Enemies or Fuck You or
I don't know what it was called, but yeah.
Yeah, we need more of those though.
Right,
that shit was good.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was good. And the Koreans can make a movie. Let me tell you what.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Man.
Oh my God. These South Koreans can make a motherfucking movie.
From Parasite to Train to Busan.
Oh man, Train to Busan, man. Let me tell you something, man. I read that the actors from the Squid Game, got paid embarrassingly low.
And the writer director, he isn't getting residuals.
Which I did not plan on talking about this, but just to bring you back to the business curtain, the reason why someone wouldn't give you residuals is because they don't believe that the project would be profitable.
Crazy, because Netflix made almost $1 billion off of that.
$1 billion off that joint, and now the main character from Squid Game is asking for $1 million per episode, and the studio's pushing back.
But then again, think about Monique. So, am I really surprised? Because
true,
right,
true. The studio's pushing back, and we like, why? Like, you made $1 billion off the joint, and you can't give a man
off of one show.
You can't give the principal actor. How many episodes is in Squid Game? 10?
Maybe, yeah.
You can't get that man $10 million? Well, I tell you, capitalism, man. But I'm telling you, it all falls down. Man, listening to the mystery of iniquity, man, they get some tears in your face. That's not what we're going to talk about, though. I want to talk about something a little scary, and I feel like I need to finish rolling this blunt to exercise what I was talking about. Sweetheart?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. What did I read? I read, was it DC or California, that you can make like up to $1.2 million a year and still be considered middle class.
What?
And we're not making $1.2 million a year.
No.
So I would say we not even
poverty.
In the middle class. Poverty.
Right.
And when we talk about like racelessness or getting rid of like caste systems, what is interesting to me about the deletion of a caste system is not that poverty or people who make less money will stop to exist. It is the connotation that we put on these impoverished people. Mm-hmm. I was, there was a petition at one point that like every congressperson should be living off of food stamps. And I agree with that because I feel like any person who's making decisions for the public should have experienced poverty.
Yeah.
And not because I want you to be poor, but because there is a perspective from this caste system that I feel like most people don't get.
Mm-hmm.
An easy one is bus schedules.
Yeah.
Corporations and governments create bus schedules based on the money that these bus lines make from these particular areas. It has nothing to do with who's got the most need, who should be getting more bus service, where the bus should go, how it's benefiting that community that needs the transportation. Has nothing to do with that. And the reason I bring that up is because you wouldn't know about the inequity of bus schedules until you're trying to take a bus from here to the south side. And it take you 7 hours to get from here to the south side. And it has nothing to do with how long the bus stops. There's only one bus per hour.
Wow.
In certain situations.
Yeah.
There's only one bus per hour that would take you from the south side of Washington, D.C. to downtown. When I was working at the Boys and Girls Club, I had dreamed of this concept of a nonprofit that would be addressing what I call the transportation gap, which was essentially poor people spend more time and money trying to get to a place than people who have capital. So when they say that poverty is expensive, they don't necessarily mean that like, oh, it costs you $20 to be poor. No, what it means is that like, if I got to go to work and my job is in a car 15 minutes away, but it's an hour and a half on public transportation, I'm taking an additional 3 hours of transportation that, I'm taking an additional 2.5 hours of transportation that someone with a car didn't have to do.
Right.
That's 2.5 hours I can't be on the phone. That's 2.5 hours I'm not with my kids, which means that's 2.5 hours that I got to pay for a babysitter or more child protect or child services. That's 2.5 hours that I can't be actively engaged into my dreams, which I have to get more capital. That's 2.5 hours I can't be buying a house. Like there's so much time that goes involved into these situations, and you can't really notice until you walk in those shoes. So as a poor person, I noticed something, sweetheart. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Can I be honest on the show?
Of course.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Getting ready to talking about it right now is actually making me nervous as fuck.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I wasn't supposed to notice.
Yeah.
And after watching I Am Virgo and realizing that realizing that a lot of these systems are designed to keep poor people poor, I noticed something. And I'll start with the story. And I'm going to be very personal. I'm just going to put all the details out there, sweetheart, if you don't mind. I won't put the detail out here, but right now I work for an organization who is paying me for the next like 3-4 months as a contract. And because of the contract status, for some reason, I'm getting paid in paper checks.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a conversation with them and see if we can change that, but maybe I won't because of what I'm going to tell you. I'm getting paid in paper checks. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But when I was a kid, all the way till I was 34, which was, in May, when you deposit, let's say you deposit a paper check on Wednesday for $3,000, and you do it before noon, shouldn't your check come to your account on Thursday for $3,000? Yeah. That's how it goes, right? Even if you deposit the check after 5 on Wednesday, shouldn't Friday morning your check be there for $3,000?
And honestly, even Bank of America will get it to you the next day, even if it's after 5.
That's what it was, right?
Used to be, right?
So I deposited a check last Thursday for $3,000. Put it in before noon. Like they've been usually doing with like Citibank, they'll give you like a little percent of the check before it clears, and then the next day you get the full amount.
And you took it in person, right?
Yes. So Thursday I go deposit the check, that's before noon. Friday I wake up, I check my account, and I have the 10% plus $250.
Yeah.
Like $250 flat. And I'm like, that's weird. I ain't never got an allowance off of my check. So I call up the bank. And the bank tells me, and I think I have this under FedNow Results 1, sweetheart. The bank tells me, that there is a new policy based on U.S. law, and that policy basically states that it now takes 3 business days to process your check, and over those 3 business days, the institution is allowed to give you an allowance on your own money. And if Citibank had sent me this notice agnostically, I'd have thrown a fit and gone about my day. Like, damn, that's a stupid policy. But when I called the bank, the customer service rep tried to gaslight me to think that this is a policy that's been happening since I opened a bank account 25, 30 years ago. To the point that the lady was on the phone. I don't even know if you heard the sweetheart. The lady was on the phone, was like, well, let's go back in time and look at your other deposits.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. What we're not going to do is you're going to go back in time and tell me it always took 3 days when in real life I was there and I got my money the next day.
Yeah.
I also said it would have been faster for me to take this check to a cash checking place where they would have called my employer, gave me the money, and I could have just deposited it here.
Right.
To which she said, this is a new policy. I don't know what's going on. Here's what it is. And I'll be honest with you, sweetheart, as I like to blunt, this policy scared the everlasting shit out of me.
Yeah.
Why has the government created a law in combination with the banks to further delay the processing of my money? Almost dropped the mic. Why is the government creating a law in combination with banks to delay the processing of my money? Not how do they have the power, because I understand how they have the power. They have the power. So the second thing happens, sweetheart. I get off the phone and I go to look up the law.
Yeah.
Why did this law exist? And I found something very surprising. It shocked the shit out of me, actually. This law is part of another set of laws that establishes the Federal Reserve's right or ability to create a central bank and a digital currency that comes from that central bank. The government's creating a central bank and my checks are being delayed by processing. Now, the strategist in me is like, wait a minute. Something is happening here. There's a 2, there's a plus, and there's a 2. What are we doing here? Play the next video, sweetheart.
A huge change is coming to the way people send and receive money. At some point in July, the US Federal Reserve is going to roll out FedNow, a new fast payment system. Now, as you'll probably know, moving money between bank accounts can take days. However, with FedNow, it is going to take a matter of seconds. So, on the face of it, FedNow is going to be very convenient and very quick, which means people will most likely happily adopt it. However, it does have some potentially very worrying features. There are signs that the Fed will be looking to build extra programmability into FedNow as the years go by. And this extra programmability could mean that the Fed is able to impose limits on people's spending and will also have oversight of what people spend, where they spend it, and how they spend it.
So I imagine people who hear me talking about this are like, BeMo, I'm not depositing no paper check. This is not going to affect me. I want you to remember what this white man just said at the very beginning of the video. This is an attack on convenience. This is not an attack on your bank. This is not an attack on your money. This is actually an attack on convenience. If I was the government and I was releasing my own bank, would I spend billions of dollars trying to advertise for that bank, sweetheart?
No.
Would I spend billions of dollars trying to get the word out that we have a bank? Would I try to persuade the masses through commercial tactics that this bank is necessary for you to move on? No, I wouldn't do that. You know what I would do, sweetheart? You know what I would do? I would make it so that my bank is the most convenient option amongst all other options. And the way that I could do that is affect laws. I read the law that there was the law that changed that allowed the government to delay the processing of direct deposits, ACHs, wire funds, checks, all that shit. It's only affecting checks at the moment, but it's only a matter of time until they get your direct deposit. This is what I'm saying.
Right.
If I was the government trying to get a people to use a bank freely, I would make my bank so convenient that the other banks would seem like we don't need them. Right? It's the same thing that happened to QR codes. There used to be an app for QR code readers.
Mm-hmm.
Then Apple decided, you know what? We don't need QR code readers. We just put the technology into the software. Right. No more QR code readers. Let's make it more convenient for the thing that you have.
Mm-hmm.
So, I thought about for a second, because we're going to keep going. I thought about for a second, should I complain to the employer? But, sweetheart, complaining to the employer, wouldn't that be what the government wants? If I complain to my employer and say, hey, it's taking too long for me to get paid,
right,
then the government looks into the ways like, okay, how can we pay people faster?
Mm-hmm.
And if ACHs, if wires, if checks can all be delayed by federal law,
mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you why this is not a hoopla yet, because it's going to happen. It hasn't happened yet. When they start delaying your payroll's direct deposit, right, and by delay, I don't mean a day. Mm-hmm. I don't mean like it takes an extra day. When they start giving you an allowance off of your own money,
right,
from direct deposit, because that's the law with the bank, I just know there's going to be a mass introduction of FedNow so that people can be paid instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Throw a little tax incentive in there. There is no reason why an employer wouldn't want to use FedNow to pay their employees.
So nefarious.
So, and the white man said some very scary things on the second half. I don't even want to go to the programming part because I'm not even at the programming part. Here's where I'm at, because I'm poor. I do not pay and have no intention of paying my student loans.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Yeah, there's programs. Yeah, there's forgiveness. I've done those and everything. But at the end of the day, this is not literal because I don't have student loans anymore. But at the end of the day, I'm not paying them because I can't afford them. Which is why there is $1.1 trillion in student loan debt. You know what other Supreme Court decision was made? They found that student loan forgiveness by Joe Biden was unconstitutional.
What?
Same slew of Supreme Court cases, they found that the way that Joe Biden was going to do student loan forgiveness was unconstitutional. Now, there are some other ways that he can still get it done, but the way that was proposed to us during the pandemic, all that shit. Here's the scary part, though. If you're getting paid through your employer and your student loans are federal, and your employer decides to use FedNow to pay you, you're going to be paying them student loans.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be paying the proper federal tax, the federal tax that the government thinks you should be paying, not the federal tax that you report. That is how they get that $1.1 trillion back. It ain't gonna be no student loan forgiveness. They gonna basically take the money. They gonna garnish your wages before they garnish your wages.
Yeah.
If you are poor, you know that one of the few pieces of protection is that institutions cannot look into your bank account without your consent. Nobody can send or take money from you without your consent. With FedNow, not the case.
Right.
People can send and take money from you without your consent.
The government now has access to see, right.
The government now has access to your money.
That's crazy.
To your money.
Mm-hmm.
If your labor produces capital and the government now owns that capital, what are we in?
Slavery.
Woo! And it starts with the government giving me a fucking allowance
right.
off of my paycheck. And when Lady of the House heard me. I'm sorry you had to hear me. When I was going off on the people at the bank, you know what they told me? There's no more people you could talk to.
Right.
I said, what? You want to know why there's no more people you could talk to? Because that wasn't customer service I was talking to. That was the task force. Mm-hmm. See, I stuck with Superman. I know how these things work. You just don't announce things all willy-nilly and don't have a communication plan.
Right.
In the background of this joint, the calls was buzzing because I'm sure Americans who deposited their check on Thursday or on Friday looking forward to buying a brisket on Saturday so they can celebrate America's birthday on Tuesday came up short. Mm-hmm. In grocery stores, like, wait. I deposited my check yesterday. What do you mean I don't got no money? And the trick bag here, sweetheart, is the reason why I wanted to talk about it on the show specifically, and the reason why I wanted to tell you was Citibank, and the reason why I wanted to tell you it was only $3,000 and that it was my payroll check from an organization, is because the trick in America is, in capitalism, you don't talk about these things. You're not supposed to talk about, oh, I was broke today. Right. You're not supposed to talk about, oh, the money that I gave the bank, I thought it was the minimum amount, but they thought it was a grand amount that needs to be broken apart. You're not supposed to talk about these things. And why aren't you supposed to talk about these things? Because it's uncouth, it's unpolite, it's not respectable. Also, why I was scared, this is why black thinking is so powerful. Because, like, I just said two things. I just said I've experienced something from the bottom in which I'm being siphoned from, something that if you weren't thinking blackly, you wouldn't even think about to think that this is a product of capitalism. You would just think this is a new regulation at the bank. Oh, it's a new regulation. We'll get over it. No, nigga, this is nefarious as fuck. Mm-hmm. Second thing, I wouldn't be talking about this if I was somebody else, because I still believe in respectability. I need to be perfect. I need to have this image, this visage of greatness and beauty and perfect, like my TV, like my life is a fucking TV show, in order to be respected. We reject that notion right here on the show. Therefore, I'm telling you, over the weekend, I was broke, not because I ain't make the money, not because I ain't put in the labor, not because I don't have skills, not because I'm not talented. It's because the government tempered my money so that they can temper convenience so I could buy their fucking product. Mm-hmm. At this point, I'd rather they go back to selling paper towels. Go back to marketing. Give me a bad commercial at this point, because if you're going to coerce me through fucking laws, I meant to tell you before, the same law that said it took a day to process your check, that now it takes 3 days to process your check, mm-hmm. That law changed by like 2 words.
Wow.
And now we getting allowances from our paycheck. Crazy. My heart rate done went up. We got any comments?
Let's see. On Instagram, Mitch from the laboratory says, "You're not poor, BeMo. Stevie Wonder can see you getting money."
Yeah, he can. And so can the federal government.
Yeah.
And they about to temper that shit. That's what Mitch, that's what I'm telling you, baby. That's what, and you look now, you're an entrepreneur like me, and you would think that somehow we could protect ourselves from this situation. We can. Mm-hmm. If anything, we have less protection because we're not even employees. And you know how employees think, oh my God, we finna be on FedNow in a minute. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. You know how employees think, I want it now. I want it the most convenient. Shut up. Right. Sorry, employees. What are the comments we got, sweetheart?
The creative school says, simply put, and then because it's embarrassing, like we don't talk about it.
Because it's embarrassing?
Because it's quote unquote embarrassing.
Oh man, we shouldn't be embarrassed.
Right.
We shouldn't be embarrassed. I see the tweet all the time that says only 1 or 2% of Americans are making $200,000 or more.
It sounds about right.
So the rest of 98% of us out here faking? Because I get on Instagram, I don't see poverty. Y'all niggas look good on Instagram. I get on Twitter, I don't see poverty. Y'all look, I go to brunch, I don't see poverty. Y'all niggas look good.
That don't cost $200,000.
True, brunch don't cost $20,000. Brunch don't cost a system that you could build.
Didn't you, I'm not going to put the business out there, but you told me somebody had a chain that you liked, and then they told you it wasn't what you thought it was.
Here, mute the mic real fast. chain.
Right.
I know you're saying franchise.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. It's
Yeah.
none of it's real. It's
I
all
just
smoke
thought
and
this
mirrors.
nigga was dripped out. Like,
No.
I gotta get a chain like that. That chain was fake.
It's all smoke and mirrors. Nobody got money for real. Well, not nobody, but we all out here.
Damn, that shit crazy.
But
Yep.
I feel
Go ahead.
like the reason we don't talk about it is part of a tactic of capitalism.
Yeah.
Like they don't want us to realize that, oh shit, we're being finessed right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Let's see. On YouTube. Where does it start? Okay. I'll just start from the top. Good Vibe Trap says they need to give reparations on FedNow or I don't want it. Facts. We do need to talk about.
Wait. Maybe they will. And now that you think about I'm not even thinking about reparations, but now, like maybe they will give reparations via FedNow, but more nefariously or even more evil, maybe they'll give out SNAP on FedNow. Maybe they'll give out food stamps on FedNow, which then like mandates that a certain selection of the population is signed up for this digital currency.
Right.
And sweetheart, excuse me. When I was on the phone and when I was taking the reason why I brought the bus earlier, I took the bus the other day, right?
Yeah.
I tried to take the bus to the print shop. And the 86, which goes down Rhode Island, comes once an hour on the weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
And one bus didn't come.
I feel like it's always running during the week.
No.
No?
Every 20 minutes during the week. 3 times an hour during the week, during prime time, but only once an hour during off-peak hours. Rhode Island is a major connector between Maryland, where we live, and DC, right? And the reason why I was so sad because I was on the bus app and I saw where the bus was supposed to come pull in, pick people up, and then continue the route. But I saw that bus come in, turn its no service sign on, and then sit there.
What?
I saw, like, I'm watching on the app, the bus that's supposed to be coming and continuing the route decided simply at PG didn't want to. I don't know if it was systemic. I don't know if it's individual, but I just, in that moment, I was like, man, it is so sad how we treat poor people. Like completely disposable. And I was sitting with, oh man, it was such an American moment. I was sitting with 2 immigrants who were trying to go downtown for some Africana celebration. I was sitting with a woman with a baby, and I was sitting with somebody who was trying to go to work. And the frustration in the 4 of them was so palpable. It was so tense because they watch and they like, it's like because they've been on the bus for so long, they already know that somebody just decided not to do the bus route.
Right.
Because they just sat there. They looked up, they were frustrated, and then they just all sat down. There's like nothing we can do for an hour. I called a Lyft. And I felt bad. I called a Lyft. These people, late to work, baby outside, can't get to the celebration on time. And I was like, damn, it's crazy how we treat poor people. And what makes it sad, we treat them so disposable. And I think about it in this hypothetical situation where FedNow is automatically mandated for that same class, they are more disposable.
Right.
$1.1 trillion missing in student loans, and they gonna get that back through this. How much money do these big corporations owe hiding their money in different countries? I don't even talk like this, but I'm just saying, why you coming for us? What did we do? Niggas wake up, they go to work, they do their job, they come home, try to fulfill themselves and satisfy their personal life, and repeat. And you coming for our crumbs when niggas is leaving steaks on the table? What are the comments we got?
Let's see. Okay. Drew said, yeah, in some cases checks are instant. Last paper check I deposited was in my account instantly.
This policy just started though. Literally on the
July
1st.
1st, yeah.
Yes.
Good Vibe Tribe says, I knew it had to do with digital currency. And then Drew said, I don't like it. They can freeze all your assets or take out in taxes if they feel like it. Right. Good Vibe Tribe says, we do need to talk about money more as a community, especially the hardship, so we can figure out what someone else did to avoid the trap.
Yeah, very true. Very true. That shit got my.
And same with wages with coworkers. Right.
Yeah. We should.
And we have previous comments. Drew said, my old room in Slow is being rented for $2,000 a month. DC is crazy and living expenses.
So, Drew, room and board, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it like $3,500 a semester?
Yes. And then Drew said, I binged I'm a Virgo after you recommended it. Great show, 5 stars.
Oh man, what a show. What a show, man. What a show. I hope it gets to season 2, but you know what I'm saying? I've reserved hope for season 2s at the Lovecraft Country, to be honest with you. I just don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to put no weight.
Yeah.
All right, sweetheart, you know what time it is. You know what time it is?
Yeah.
It's time for the burning question for the Roach. Burning question.
Okay, so
from you. Sorry, sweetheart. Go ahead.
I don't really know if we have the solution to this right now, but I'm just thinking about FedNow. Is there really anything we can do in protest or, you know, to other than taking money out the bank, but like
okay, take your money out the bank, put it on the mattress. Old blueprint or new blueprint?
This low key, it's kind of an old blueprint.
Okay, so then we got to figure out the next thing then.
Right.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really trust Killer Mike no more, so I don't know if I'm really fucking with Greenwood Bank. I don't know if that's the solution, or it's the fact that like the federal law could just dictate that all banks gotta follow these regulations. It's just kind of like then if it's a black-owned bank, or I'm sorry, if it's a white-owned bank or a regular bank, that's how I want to say that. It don't matter, right? Are there private banks?
I'm sure there are. Yeah. But they're probably all federally backed, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what the alternative is to this.
Because like, yeah, we can adopt our own currency, you know, amongst ourselves as a community, but we're still going to receive money or checks, cash, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah,
right.
I don't know. Ask the question again, though.
Is there anything we can do in protest other than, you know, just taking our money out the banks? Like, is there really a solution at this point?
I would need to talk. I don't really know much about money, but like, let's see, if I transferred this problem to another subject, if there was a law that was nefarious and destructive to my nature, what would I do about it? Protest would be one. But protest is an attempt to change the system, which is an approach. But the other approach is like, how do I still survive and thrive? How do I maintain a lifestyle or grow a lifestyle within or without the system? Like, it really don't matter.
True.
So that's why I would have to see what the specific system would be like. That's why I'm like, are there private banks?
Okay.
Would there be a way that we could... Because putting it under the mattress is hoarding physical money. Although it doesn't grow, I guess it's safer under you rather than under someone else.
Right.
So the advancement upon that would be, how do we keep money safe from the federal government or people who want to take our money, and how does it grow while we have it?
Right.
I don't know what that is, but that's the answer. Grow it privately without the federal government. How? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's where I feel like the genius of black could come in too, though.
Genius of what now?
The genius of black. That's where that's where, like, I don't know if you can solve that from top down. I feel like you got to solve that thinking bottom up.
Yeah.
How?
We have a couple comments.
How we do it before?
It was the cashing in the mattress method, right?
Couldn't have been.
And like gold and stuff.
They couldn't have been doing that in Tulsa.
You sure?
I don't know.
But they also, I don't know if their banks were, you know,
it's like federally backed.
Private or federally, yeah. Private.
All right, we need to talk to an economist. We've hit a wall. What's the quotes? What we got in the comments? What we got?
The creative school says trust, and then the shrug, and they said it might be too complex for just cash. Mitch from the laboratory says fuck the cash, it's not worth shit anymore. Low-key. And then the creative school said stock market, drug investor, LOL. And then Naya said watch Earn Your Leisure, they be dropping gems on how to finesse. And then,
who's it?
Is it Naya, your cousin, Naya Brown?
Okay.
And then Natalie said, let your own community's assets value. Oh, let your own community's assess value, my bad. And then on YouTube, Drew said, be Scrooge McDuck, log all your wealth in a vault. Good Vibe Tribe says, that's when we start sharing cooperatively. That's fair. So build a community and then circulate within that ecosystem.
But how?
What do you mean how? Aren't we doing it now?
Okay.
Let me see it later.
Man, I'm having trouble right now.
Why are you having trouble? Shit.
I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble because, like, I feel like all the things, and I love us, all those things have been beat already, though. Like, how do we pay each other? Let's say we do create a community and we do circulate amongst ourselves. How do we pay each other?
Through our services or what we, like, you know, our talents, our abilities, what we can provide for each other.
So there's no money.
If we don't need it.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I am befuddled.
Yeah.
You got me, sweetheart. I don't.
Drew says a barter system. Right, exactly. And then Natalie said, take off your capitalist glasses, BeMo. Right.
Trying. Yeah,
right.
You see?
You got them all tight. Take them off.
How? Oh.
If you have everything you need, what do you need money for?
PlayStation?
But if you have one, what do you need money for? We have a PlayStation. Let's say somebody else bring a PlayStation 5. Somebody else bring an Xbox. Like, you have all these systems now. What do you need money for?
What do you mean? Like, how do I get my PlayStation?
It's right there. What are you talking about?
No, we'll say I want a PlayStation 5.
Somebody else got one.
How'd they get their PlayStation 5?
But I'm talking about...
Let's walk it all the way through.
What do you mean? That's why we find somebody who has one.
Okay,
You're
but
welcome
how did that person get that one?
We're not thinking about the past. The past is done.
No, the past. No. The past is not done.
Yes, it is.
The past was at the beginning of this show. Like, it's still, it's still going.
What I'm saying is, like, Yeah, they used money, but like, what if we don't have a need for that going forward? They already have it. So like,
I still don't got it.
Okay.
I still don't got it.
Okay.
I still don't got it. Okay. I understand bartering. I get that.
Yeah.
But I only get that to a certain degree of things that already exist. What about things that don't exist? What about things that aren't already in our ecosystem? Like salt.
Yeah.
Or oil. Like, what do we use for that? And how do we use it? That's why I feel defeated in this conversation, because at the core of FedNow is not like taxes, where it's like, oh, I have to report that. At the core of FedNow is we're sending and holding and receiving money this way.
Right.
It's like if they had robots on cash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then how do we do that? Even if we develop a different community, we all move to TDJ spot and we like, fuck it, we're not using cash no more, right?
Yeah.
So it means at some point we have to develop our own currency. But in order to work with the outside world, we'd still need to use money.
Yeah.
And so we sending money from our black state through FedNow to Montana.
Mm-hmm.
Don't that mean we are now what's it mean? We are now a victim of the central bank, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. In my head, we would use like cash, or we wouldn't use their system. You know what I mean? So like, we could still use money, but like, it just wouldn't be through FedNow.
So we write a check.
Yeah, shit.
And then take them 3 days to cash.
Shit, that's their problem.
Okay, I got you. Okay. I'm with that. I'm into that.
Yeah, that's all.
I'm into that. Okay, cool. Thank you, lady in the house. That's what I needed to walk. Because we don't got to use the system.
Right. Y'all can use it.
Y'all can use it.
Right.
Shit, we wrote the check.
Right. Shit. You can figure that out.
The check's on you.
Right. This is money, as far as I'm concerned.
This is money. Shit,
right.
It's a check from Wells Fargo.
Right.
Here you go.
Right. I did my part. So it's out of my hands. It's above me.
Can you send us through FedNow? Nope.
I don't know what that
is. No, we don't got that. We got Cash App.
Right.
We got Cash App and check.
Right.
And money order.
Right.
That's funny. Okay. There it is. Thanks, sweetheart. I appreciate the revolution of mind. There it is. That's what I needed. There we go. Okay. The capitalist gas is still on, baby. They're still there. Got any comments?
Drew said, how a barter system would work in the digital age, I don't know. And then he said, the issue with capitalism is it forces you to play. The issue with capitalism is it forces you to play. Right.
The first question, I think, is NFTs, though.
Oh. True.
I just can't wait till niggas figure it out. Ooh, I can't wait till niggas figure it out. When niggas figure out how to send food stamps through NFTs, what?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Like the barter through NFT, what?
Mm-hmm.
What if that was our money? Okay, hold on. I've been spoken. It's the 4th of July. Okay. NFTs, our money. What if you owned your money? Like, let's say we in the black hood, right? We in BeMoville.
Okay.
In the state of black. And you work at Mr. Johnson's barbershop. And Mr. Johnson pays you I don't know what the dollar's gonna be, but 6 tubs an hour. Mm-hmm. Right? What if he paid you what if he gave you 6 tubs that had your name on it? Like it was your digital 6 tubs. You own these 6 tubs. These 6 tubs you can spend at the grocery store, you can spend whatever, but it's literally your money. And then when you go to the grocery store, you spend some money on some honey, right? You give them a tub and they got your name on it. right? But when somebody else come and buy something, or what the grocery store is spending money on a supplier or whatever, they're literally giving your money to the supplier. And the way NFTs work, right? Every time your money moves, every time your money sells, don't you get a piece of it, don't you? You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like if I'm BeMo, I work in Mr. Johnson's. I got paid in tubs. The tubs that Mr. Johnson gave me could either be somebody else's tubs or a newly generated tub. I don't know how that would work. But you give me a tub, you put my name on it. I take that same tub, I go to the grocery store, I buy an orange soda.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah,
I'm talking to myself now.
Okay.
I buy an orange soda, right? The grocery store then goes to the manufacturer of the orange soda, which is also in BeMoville, and pays them the tubs. And it's got the grocery store's name on it, it's got Mr. Johnson's name on it, it's got my name on it, but it still spins like it's whatever a tub is amounted. I don't know if that makes sense economically, but it made sense just now. Somebody write that down. Put that in the new blueprints. I think we just solved cooperative economics in the digital age. Uh-oh. How many people on the show right now? 7, 4. Y'all just found the revolution.
Yes, it's like 4 right now. And then some on YouTube.
What you about to say, Leon?
I'm saying it's not a bad idea, because if you get a percentage of every time that it's cycled, then you're making your money back. So it should continue to grow.
Okay. Let's take this up at the next Blueprint Parlor. What you think?
Okay.
At the next one, I wanted to focus on specific blueprints and try to build them out. I think we could take this one. We need an economist, though. We need somebody who know money. And somebody who got a free mind. Like, fuck the rules. Like, I don't care. Like, is this new system possible? I think, maybe. I don't know. We got any more comments and other people in the house before we get out of here? We gotta go to a barbecue.
Good Vibe Tribe says money is as real as race. Yeah. Right. There is money, but it's more of a necessary evil. Right. It's a construct, but that doesn't mean all interaction with it is evil. Yeah. And then he said Tub equals Harriet Tubman.
Of course. Of course.
On Instagram,
we naming our currency after the greatest of us.
Yeah.
We got a Tub, we got a Soldier Boy, we got a Marlon Wayans. It's gonna be great. Marlon Wayans is the greatest of us. I don't care what nobody says. That's right.
Blacklist.
That's always in the blacklist. Marlon Wayans. That's right. It's gonna be Harriet Tubman. He gonna be the penny. Marlon Wayans will be the penny. We're gonna have a Tub. We're gonna have a Freddie Doug. I'm trying to think here.
You said a Soldier Boy.
We need a Soldier Boy. We need a New York Tiffany Pollard. We need one of those. She gonna be the nickel. And the number 12 now would exist. Like, you can't have $12 in your account. You automatically go to $11.99 or $13. Like, it's just, we're not having it, because fuck 12.
Natalie said living well has less to do with money and more to do with community values, which solves a lot. Yeah.
So Natalie said, I wouldn't need no PlayStation 5 if I had good community values. That's what she said. Fine, and Natalie. I hear you. Damn.
And then she said, that's the whole point of blockchain currency. It's not tied to the government. It needs community / buy-in to thrive. Right.
I think I got a good idea. What do you think? What you think? You think it's a good idea?
Yeah.
I'll talk to the people now. Oh, hold on.
My bad.
What you think? You think it's a good idea? Should I keep quiet about it, though? Ain't nobody listening to me. Go ahead.
The Creative School said, yeah, not just NFT, even Bitcoin and others. Every transaction goes into a ledger and you decide what the value of these transactional items are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, as long as, let's say in this Mr. Johnson to orange soda supply chain, as long as we can create the means for creating that orange soda without external forces, we good. Right?
Yeah.
And then we'll see here. We gotta pay taxes on the land probably, unless we just gonna fully succeed. Then we gotta be willing to die. So then we just have to be able to sell a good to the world for currency.
Right.
That's fine. Okay, cool.
Natalie said,
would niggas want to move to the black state in BeMoville? How many niggas moving? How many niggas moving to TDJ's joint? Is it gonna be a thing? Because the thing that TDJ said that pissed me off was like, it's gonna be all inclusive. We're gonna have black folks and Latino folks and white folks in there. And I'm like, I'm not mad at them people individually, but like, damn.
That's right. Well, just for, you know. Natalie said, look at how these crypto people live. They made a couple million and can't be contained. Mitch from the laboratory said, all the smart people.
True. All the smart people gonna move to the black state. Yeah, true.
The creative school said that's why they offering the crypto people like they civil rights activists. Facts. I told you they killed the Cash App founder.
Yeah, they did.
Somebody stabbed him in broad daylight.
That sounds so painful. A splinter hurts.
Yeah.
To be stabbed?
Right.
Fuck. Damn. Whew. All right. All right, y'all. I want y'all to enjoy y'all Tuesday. We'll be back here on Thursday. You can always watch the immediate replay right here on YouTube or on Twitter. Make sure you check out clips on Instagram. Follow us on all those social media platforms. Check out the Washington Informer Bridge. We'll be right back on Thursday with more Who Wake and Ate With. But before you go, we do have my man Detroit Rivers, Black Boy Joy. Singles out now. I guess you can check it out. Not I guess. You can check it out on SoundCloud. Make sure you follow him on all social media platforms. That's Good Vibe Tribe right here on YouTube, and Detroit Rivers on Instagram. Good Vibe Tribe. We appreciate you. Black Boy Joy. We'll see y'all on Thursday. Sweetheart. Good morning.
Hold on tight, don't let this feeling slip away. Your city, yeah, happy feelings. Breaking Beverly, your main, don't be amazed. Find yourself, learn your joys and pains. Live your voice and sing. The sounds of your heart, don't you worry about a thing. And don't forget your lyrics. This is a reminder of joy every time you hear it. Just know that your birthright is joy. Smile, you can wear it contagious once you share it. Let love loose, don't fear it. Just that black boy joy.
Black boy joy up on your brain. Let this black boy joy give you some game. Black boy joy get up again. And black boy joy through all the pain. And black boy joy say it again. One more time, get this black boy joy up on your brain. Let this black boy joy give you some game. Black boy joy get up again. And black boy joy through all the pain. And black boy joy say it again. Where I was raised, black boys was being destroyed. I grew up a black boy, they stole my joy. Nobody put on my neck, so I do it for Floyd. Do it for Tamir Rice and for the underemployed. For the ones that gave back, communicated, deployed. I wanna give you a rope so that you can aboard. I wanna give you a hope so that you can avoid having to be a black man without no black boy joy. So get this black boy joy up on your brain. Let this black boy joy give you some game. Black boy joy get up again. And black boy joy through all the pain. And black boy joy say it again. One more time, get this black boy joy up on your brain. Let this black boy joy give you some game. Black boy joy get up again. And black boy joy through all the pain. And black boy joy say it again. For us, it's easier to go to jail than to go to college. Rather us be entertainers than be getting knowledge. They funded our own genocide. The word is power. Killing niggas in every song. I think it's coward. Easier to act tough when you in doubt because the world incriminates us. Cause we in doubt. Now we afraid of our own kind and it's really wild. I think they got us backwards. I figured out it's easier to fit in than it is to stand out. So I'm black boy joy when I'm cruising around. And I'm black boy joy fresh hitting the town. And I'm black boy joy dancing cleaning the house. And I'm black boy joy when I go for a hike. Been black boy joy since I was riding a bike. My son black boy joy and that's crazy to me. I was miserable growing up, I really hated it, G. But the world is much bigger than I was able to see. So get this black boy joy up on your brain. Let this black boy joy give you some game. Black boy joy get up again. And black boy joy through all the pain. And black boy joy say it again. One more time, get this black boy joy up on your brain. Let this black boy joy give you some game. Black boy joy get up again. And black boy joy through all the pain. And black boy joy say it again. Smile.